Hello friends, I Dr. Niradhar De, faculty member, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University, welcome you all to this video program. Today we are going to discuss one of the very important topic, that is pedagogical concerns of disciplinary knowledge. This is one of the video program of your online course, that is Understanding Disciplines and Subjects. We have already discussed about disciplinary knowledge. We have discussed about that by categorizing a type of knowledge, how a discipline has been constituted, a discipline has been emerged, and further from a discipline how a school subject that has been framed. And you will find when we talk about either a discipline or a school subject, certain pedagogical concerns are used, certain pedagogical approaches are used for designing curriculum, for designing content point. Okay, so that's why this topic specifically this topic will focus upon the pedagogical concerns of disciplinary knowledge of different subjects. This has been included in the 4th week of your online course, that is Understanding Disciplines and Subjects, and at present we are in the module Disciplinary Knowledge and School Education, and in this module 3 video programs that have been designed. First is pedagogical concerns of disciplinary knowledge, second is classifying and accommodating specific areas of knowledge, and third is framing school subjects. So here in this program, first our focus is on discussion of pedagogical concerns of disciplinary knowledge, and further in further programs we will discuss the another 2 video programs. Then let us focus upon the learning outcomes. After watching this video program, after going through the e-text in the PDF form which is provided to you in this online course relating to this module, you will be able to explain the pedagogical concerns and their implications for teaching and learning. This is the first learning outcome, and second is you will be able to critically analyze the use of pedagogical approaches in different school subjects, and the third learning outcome, that is to discuss or you will be able to discuss pedagogical concerns of disciplinary knowledge at different stages of school education. So friends, here 3 things are given importance as learning outcomes. First is you will be able to explain the pedagogical approaches, then further you will be able to critically analyze the use of pedagogical approaches in different school subjects, and the third is you will be able to discuss the pedagogical concerns. So what are the pedagogical concerns of disciplinary knowledge at different stages of school education, at the elementary stage, at the secondary stage, at the same time at the senior secondary stage, that is also across the subjects. So let us try to start our discussion first with the pedagogical approaches and their implications for teaching and learning. So we majorly focus upon 3 pedagogical approaches, that is behaviorist as per the behavioristic approach of teaching and learning, then as per the cognitivist or the early constructivist approach of teaching and learning, then further the social constructivist approach of teaching and learning. So 3 pedagogic approach that we highly used, and at the present teaching learning process, so far as National Curriculum Framework 2005, NCF 2005, which is developed by NCRT, as per NCF 2005, it has given much importance upon the constructivist approach of teaching learning process. But being a student of education, being a teacher of education, being a follower of education, we should understand about that what implications of teaching and learning process are there as per the behavioristic pedagogic approach. So let us focus upon this. In behaviorist pedagogic approach, the chief pioneers are Ivan Pavlov, E.L. Thorndike, J.B. Watson, and B.F. Skinner. They have developed certain theories, they have done the experiment and they have developed certain theories, and they come out with certain educational implications in the teaching learning process. Means how they are learning theories, it may be classical conditioning, it may be operant conditioning, it may be trial and error, how this can be used, what is its implications in the teaching learning process. First of all, it gives emphasis on producing observable and measurable outcomes in students. Whether means when we use the behavioristic approach, so the changes among the students, you can say the modification, the behavior changes among the students, that should be visible, okay, that should be observable, and at the same time that should be measurable also. By using certain methods, by using certain techniques, we can measure it, we can assess it. Then further, pre-assessment is important to begin with the instruction. Pre-assessment means it is called as the entry behavior. That means what the learners have already studied, the experiences that they have already gained, because the prior experiences will help to gather new knowledge, for gathering new experiences. So that is important, one of the important concern. Then further emphasis on mastering early steps, the knowledge which has already studied, already you can say the learners they have already experienced, whether they have gained the mastery or not, okay, whether they have learnt it or not. So that is also another concern for getting, for you can say gaining new knowledge. Then reinforcement here, it works very effectively. Reinforcement, a type of bond that got established so far as behavioristic approach is concerned. That bond is called, that's the bond between stimulus and response. Okay, if you will give a stimulus, then you will get a response from the subject. And so far as the classical conditioning is concerned, you have to provide the stimulus first, then the subject will give you the response. And so far as operant conditioning of Skinner is concerned, it means the subject, that means the students in the teaching learning process will do the response first, then after you have to give the stimulus. So either stimulus first or response next, or response first or stimulus next, it is depends upon certain theories. But as per the behavioristic approach, you will find that reinforcement works very forcefully to acquire certain, to acquire learning. Then further, if I will talk about the cognitivist and early constructivist pedagogic approach, here the implications for teaching and learning process are just like emphasis is given on the active involvement of learners in the learning process. Okay. In the teaching learning process, how the teachers are involving the learners, it is the implications. Then use of hierarchical analysis means earlier learning experiences is aligned with, is linked with new learning experiences of the learners. Then here emphasis is given on structuring, organizing and sequencing information to facilitate optimal processing. Here you see how you are making, being a teacher, how you are making a proper structure of teaching learning process. You have the content, how to deal that content, how to teach that content, how to address that content. So you have to make, you have to structureize it, that what will go in the first week, then next week what will go, then how you will organize it. Okay. Then what is the sequence, which point, which teaching point, which content point will be studied first and what will be studied next. Okay. So accordingly, according to the difficulty level of the content point, so that can be done, and as per the need and interest abilities of the learners, that can also be done. So here, as per the cognitivist and early constructivist approach, you will find that structuring, organizing and sequencing information is very important implications for teaching and learning process, and creating a suitable learning environment to teach the students, because the new knowledge, new experiences that they will gain from the school system or out of school also. So that's why you have to create, you have to develop a type of creative, a type of good learning environment, constructive learning environment. Then further, to talk about social constructivist, you will find that as per the social constructivist, it gives importance upon learners' experiences. You will find that the students who are coming to the school, they are coming with huge experiences. So how to use their experiences in the teaching learning process, how to connect their experiences with the new knowledge, you will find that that is the beauty of teaching and learning process. So the pioneer of social constructivist theory, just like John Dewey, Jean Piaget, Jerome Bruner and Lev S. Vygotsky, they have given importance of knowledge construction. You will find that the learners, they have the ability to, you can say, to acquire knowledge, at the same time to construct their own knowledge, keeping in consideration of the prior experiences and a new environment. You can say the inputs that they are getting from the new environment. So that's why as a teacher, here is the implications for teaching and learning, that the teacher should engage the learners in different types of activities. Only one activity is not enough, and multiple resources can also be used, not only textbook. With textbook, children's own experiences, own narratives, innovative pedagogy, critical pedagogy can be used. Here teaching and learning process can be considered as multiple scaffolds. It is not you can say a one-way path, rather multiple experiences the learners should get. Varieties of ways of assessment can also be used so that the learners can construct their own knowledge. Then problem solving skill can be used. Then, as I have already said, that for assessing you can say the knowledge and understanding, the skills that the learners have achieved, that can also be done by using multiple ways, okay, by peer evaluation strategies, by using the group evaluation strategies, self-assessment strategies, that can also be done. Then critical pedagogy can also be used, keeping in consideration of different subject, keeping in consideration of different topic, even different topics in a particular subject. Okay, the pedagogy can be different. Okay, many a time you can teach the students inside within the classroom, and many a time you will find that the topic demands to take the students outside the classroom, in social environment, in physical environment. You can also teach the students. So friends, varieties of activities, varieties of methods and techniques, varieties of assessment techniques can be used to teach the students as per the social constructivist approach. Then these are the pedagogical approach and their implications for teaching and learning process so far as different pedagogic approach is concerned. Then further we will discuss about the use of pedagogical approaches in different school subjects. So what are the pedagogic approach that we use in different school subjects? Let us focus upon social science. So friends, when we deal with the topic social science, mostly we will find that it focuses upon reflecting the social issues, reflecting the things which is going on in the society, observation the interpersonal relation, observation the social situations, then engaging learners in critical socio-political inquiry, then case analysis of social things, social happenings, social events, then field visit. Learners can be taken different places for field visit. Okay, debate and discussion can also be done. Peer and group interaction strategies can also be adopted. So these are the pedagogical approaches that can be used based upon the disciplinary knowledge in the subject of social science. Then portfolio and e-portfolio rubrics can also be used by the teachers. Projects and assignment can also be used. Then in science, as you know, science is somehow related with discovery, innovation, experimentation, scientific observation, scientific inquiry. So such pedagogic approach can be used, as these are the disciplinary knowledge of the subject of science, of the discipline of science. So here scientific inquiry can be used, observation, discovery and experimentation can be used, classic experiments, which is oftenly used in the teaching learning process so far as science subject is concerned, that can be repeated for providing a concrete idea, concrete knowledge to the students. Novel scientific ideas can be discussed among the students. Then students should be engaged in scientific discourses. Then contestation, investigation, in different contestation and investigation work, learners should be engaged. Peer and group activities can be conducted on different scientific concepts, ideas and methods. Scientific quiz and workshops can be conducted. Then scientific clubs, visiting scientific lab can also be done at the national level, at the state level. Different lab can be visited. Students can be taken to different lab. And to talk about languages, so here language is based upon 4 skills: speaking, listening, writing and reading. So how the learners will acquire, will develop these 4 skills, that is the major focus in the pedagogical approach of this subject of language, so far as the particular disciplinary knowledge in language subject is concerned. So that's why use of communicative approach, how, whether the learners are able to communicate themselves or not, whether they are able to expose themselves or not, for their thinking, their ideas, whether they are expressing it properly or not. So a communicative approach is required to express themselves and to understand others also. Then narratives and storytellings can also be used. Peer and group discussion, debates can also be used. Language acquisition skills, I have already said that 4 language acquisition skills they should acquire. Further, they should appreciate the new creation of literature. At the same time, they should able to create literature also, create their own literature. That is also another use of the pedagogical approaches based upon the disciplinary knowledge so far as language is concerned. Then further, a free response format can be used for engaging learners in creative thinking, and many questions can be asked so that they can come out with their new ideas, and the individual and group feedback and assessment can also be practiced. Further, friends, we will discuss about pedagogical concerns of disciplinary knowledge at different stages of school education. So, what are the pedagogical concerns of disciplinary knowledge at different stages? So, if I will talk about the stages of elementary education, specifically in the subject of language, we have already discussed that narratives, collaborative methods, interactive and participatory methods, oral discourses, then interpreting tables, graphs, diagrams, pictures, reviewing content of books, articles can also be done, use of dictionary, encyclopedia and internet can also be done, as this is at the elementary stage the basic things, the basic skills relating language the learner should acquire. So, these are the implications. Then further, use of concept mapping, audio-lingual methods, communicative approach, teaching diverse classroom, addressing socio-psychological factors of learning and of language learning can also be used. Then conducting seminars, workshops for preparation of materials, then further linking reading and writing and using literature across the curriculum, that can also be used. So, these are the certain implications so far as the subject language is concerned at the elementary stage. And further, in the subject of social science, you will find that the implications for teaching and learning in the subject of social science at the elementary stage, the pedagogical concerns which is used, that is issue based dialogue, debate and discussion, discovery, project, problem solving, then utilization of the resources like audiovisual materials, photograph, charts, maps, replicas and archaeological and material culture. Then practice of process skills, how learning takes place, what particular technique can be used to teach a particular topic, so that can be developed, how it happens. Okay, the process skills, we are not discussing here the input and output, rather the process skills, how the learners will involve themselves in discussions, in educational discourses, in different activities, in maybe in role playing or maybe in demonstration, maybe in different types of experimentation, different types of engagement in discussions. Then further, map reading, cartoon analysis, writing slogans, that is also a part of social science curriculum so far as implications for teaching learning process is concerned. These pedagogical concerns can be used. Then conducting inquiry, discussion, field work, peer and group activities can also be done. Interactive, participatory and collaborative method can also be used. Then further at the elementary stage, when we talk about science, it based upon the conduct of activities and experiments, observation, classification, inferences, discussion, conducting inquiry, discovery projects can also be done. Then science museum, field trips, projects and exhibitions, that can also be done. Then science and social interface, how it happens, how society uses the ideas and concept of science, that can also be used. Then further, survey, organization and interpretation of data. You have the huge data, how to interpret the data, how to summarize the data and how to get findings by interpreting the data. That is also another concern. Then further use of concept map, peer and group learning, which is also a part of social science, can also be used here. And further, how to use scientific ideas, scientific principles for engaging learners in joyful learning is also another important pedagogic concern in the subject of science. Then in mathematics, it is highly based upon the inductive and deductive reasoning. These are the pedagogical concern, problem solving, mathematical modules, whether mathematical models are used or not. Concept map can also be used here. Then further understanding 2 and 3 dimensional shapes, analysis and synthesis, puzzles, play mathematical games, analyzing timetable, timeline, data handling, etc. can also be done as pedagogical concern in disciplinary knowledge of mathematics, so far as mathematics subject is concerned at the elementary stage. Then representation and interpretation of mathematical calculations, then development of spatial reasoning and visualization skill can also be done. Then at the secondary stage, so far as language is concerned, you will find that how to address the issues of multilingualism, gap between home language and school language. You will find that these are the certain issues which the language teacher face. So that's why the pedagogical concern is for dealing multilingualism and to know the gap between the home and school language, then further analyzing different types of text, note making, summarizing, connecting, reading, writing, process writing, writing to learn and understand, analyzing text across the curriculum, flow of communication in schools and the society. So these are the certain you can say important concern at the secondary stage so far as language is concerned. Social science, at the secondary stage, the pedagogical concerns can be used for implications for teaching and learning process, that is inquiry based and problem based learning can be used. Method just like source method, field study method, oral history, Bal Panchayat, mock parliament, project, storytelling, exhibition, peer and group discussion can also be used. Then further visit to historical, ecological, commercial and political places can also be done, also be conducted for make the learners gain, you can say direct knowledge, direct experiences. Organizing awareness on various social issues can also be done. Then further at the secondary stage, so far as science subject is concerned, process skill is given much importance. Then understanding science and society is also given importance. Then further inquiry, exploration, scientific inquiry, experiment, use of integrated, ecological, inductive and deductive, problem solving method, constructive approach to learning is also given importance. Then use of lecture, discussion, debate, demonstration, field trip, individual and peer group presentation, experimentation, scientific discovery can also be given importance. At the secondary stage, so far as mathematics is concerned, so here mathematical modeling, data analysis and interpretation, content analysis in mathematics can also be given importance. Then exploring connections and patterns, visualization and generalization is also given importance. And further the pedagogical concern of mathematics, that is problem solving, inductive and deductive, analytic and synthetic, project, demonstration, mathematical activities, use of mathematical laboratories, which is highly used at the elementary stage in the subject of mathematics, that also can be used at the secondary stage. So friends, these are the certain things, the pedagogical considerations that can be taken into consideration in our school curriculum so far as different stages and different subject is concerned. For further queries, you can write to me niradhar@ignou.ac.in. You can also make me a telephone call. You can visit my Facebook page, my YouTube videos, at the same time my Twitter account. In our next program, we will discuss other topics of this online course, understanding disciplines and subjects. Thank you.